Woohoo! Do I look like shit? Worked out. That's what happens when you work out. Anyway, I don't know if I can talk about this. I think I can talk about it. I think I'm okay to talk about it. I just can't post pictures or recordings or anything like that. So at work, we had a motivational speaker. And let me tell you, in the past, we have things called town hall meetings. We have quarterly meetings and whatever. But I have a severe problem that I fall asleep. Like, I cannot keep it together. And I don't see how people are in meetings or like something like this, and it's just like you're fully intent. You're like, you are paying attention, you are interested in what's going on, and you're wide awake. Or you don't care and you're just acting like you do, but you're fully awake. I don't know how people do that. I cannot do that. I will fall asleep, and I've had to pull myself out of meetings several times because I just can't take it. Like, I will fall asleep. So, I don't know. But anyway, they were talking about this has been going on where there's some motivational speaker that was coming. It's a quarterly meeting. It's mandatory. We have to go. And I was like, great, here we go. And this guy held my attention the whole time. And I wouldn't say he's a motivational speaker. I guess you can link him to that, but he's more of just his stories that he's told, or he did tell, were the ones that like intrigued you, and those are the ones that captivated everybody, and you just wanted to know more, and you're like, why are we done? An hour is up? No, you got to tell me more. You have to tell me more, So it was just one of those things that I wasn't expecting, and I didn't know who the guy was. All I knew, he was a Navy SEAL, and I was like, okay, so we got some military guy coming to talk to us. Whatever. I didn't know who he was. I didn't look him up. I didn't care to look him up because we had another motivational speaker had a book out, and never read that. We were given the books for free even prior to him coming to us, and never read it. Didn't care. I know that's horrible. But even that guy, when he came in, I was just like, I was falling asleep listening to what he didn't motivate me. Let's just say that. Okay. So anyway, this guy, if you don't know who he is, I didn't know who he was. Look him up. Robert O'Neill. He is the guy that killed bin Laden. Okay. And I don't know if I got that in the emails prior to this. Maybe if I would have read it all the way through, I would have seen it. But I don't know. I just saw Navy SEAL. He's a great speaker and you're going to love him. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's all. But then when I heard, oh, wait, what? This is who we're going to go see? The guy that killed bin Laden. That's interesting. So that already perked my interest. I was like, oh, okay. Let's hear what this guy has to say. And so he goes and he's like, yeah, I wrote a book about it. It's called, can't remember the name of it. It's one word and I can't remember what it's called. But he wrote a book about the whole experience and what had happened. And he's like, well, I'm not going to go into that. Let's talk about other things. You can read the book. And I'm like, what? That was the first thing that got me interested. And now you're not even going to talk about it? Great clickbait. I like it. You want to read it? You want to hear about it? Read my book. So I was like, all right then. So I'm going to order Survivor. No, Operations. That's the name of his book. So And then he was saying that there's several movies based on his expeditions, and I was like, what movies? And I couldn't think of what. Anyway, so I know 2 right now. 3. And I don't know if there were more or are more, but it's Captain Phillips, Zero Dark 30, and The Lone Survivor. I think I remember The Lone Survivor. I think. I'm going to have to go back and watch those again. Because if I remember correctly, well, they all did. Well, I never seen Captain Phillips. But both of the other ones, they made me cry. So, anyway. But, yeah, so he was just telling the stories of what he would call Hell Week. Because what you have to go through in order to be a Navy SEAL. The motivation that he said were certain quotes, and I so wish I had something to write that down because I didn't have anything, and I was going to grab my phone and start typing it in so I could remember, and I just felt like that was disrespectful, so I didn't. And let me tell you, I had to pee really, really bad. I didn't even go. I had to wait till they said, okay, if you have questions, okay, no one has questions yet, or they finished with the questions, line up if you want to see him. I'm like, I'm going to line up, but I gotta go. So right after we took the picture, I beelined to the bathroom. But, yeah, see? Held my attention pretty good. So, anyway, yeah, you need to really look him up, and if he's, I don't know if he, like, I don't know how we got him to speak for us. It was a work thing, so I don't know how that happened. I don't know if he does that all the time, or if you can go somewhere and see him and he'll just talk about his stuff, but he's really good. I'm not going to go into much detail because, again, I don't know if I'm sure this is something I can talk about, as long as it wasn't like, I wasn't recording and be like, hey, listen to this, what I got while he was talking. I'm sure that. But they didn't want any any post on social media. They didn't, like, I took a picture with him. They gave us the picture and they're like, do not post this anywhere. And I'm like, but it's of me and him. Why not? So, I don't know. Can't see it. I don't know how strict they are about this stuff. So I'm not going to go too much into his speech and what he said. But he is extreme. Like, I guess you get anybody that has fought in the war, right? Or had, like, things like this. Like, I never saw the movie Captain Phillips. So I don't really know what happened. But, like the expeditions that they went on, and like, you just have to hear them. But everyone's got stories like that. If you have or know, a Navy SEAL or anybody, and it doesn't have to be Navy SEAL, but, they all have stories. They're all intriguing. And it was so cool. It was cool to see them. And it's funny, I didn't even think about it, but his dad was there. And all day, one of my coworkers was like, man, I sure wish I would have gotten a picture with his dad, and it was so great for him to be there and talk to us. And, like, that's all she kept saying, like, all day. And then we'd go to lunch, and she's like, God, wasn't that great to hear? Well, I sure, and she kept talking about his dad. And I'm like, why do you care about his dad? And she's like, because you just got to think of how proud he is. And I was like, that is true. It's like, I didn't even think of that, It's like, yeah, you're thinking of the person that actually experienced this, but think about the parents, and how they feel. Just to know the fact that he's back. Not many people survive this. And in fact, the Osama bin Laden one, he was telling us that, they call you at the drop of a hat. And you don't know when. He's like, what was he doing? He was having, like, lunch or something with his daughter, who is 7 years old, and at school, and he was getting cookies and all that. All of a sudden, bing, bing, get a call. We need you now. Da, da, da. He dropped his plate, said goodbye to his daughter, and left. And it's like, oh my God. It was like, how intense, you know? And he's like, no, that wasn't the Osama bin Laden one. That was when he was doing Captain Phillips. But later on, he was telling his daughter goodbye, because he's like, I told my daughter goodbye 7 times, because those were goodbyes where you might not be coming back. It's like other times we just said, okay, I'll see you when I get home, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I've told her goodbye 7 times. And that's like anybody in the military, anyone, it doesn't matter, you know, it's just like you don't know. But I'm sure on that one, he said the Osama bin Laden one, they're like, don't expect to come back. This is a one-way mission. And to know that, it's just like, wow, that's heavy, you know. But he made it back, and, you know, I don't know. Maybe Hollywood's going to make a new movie doing this. I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to read his book, though, after I get finished with the Get Shit Done book, if I do. Hopefully I will. But it's just hearing his stories. So really, if you ever get a chance to get to see him, talk to him, or anything, it's great. It's great to see him. And I'm sure there's other people out there that have numerous stories that, you know, have family that are in the military, or if you're in the military, or if you were in the military, or something like that. You know, I have to say, and it's funny, I maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. In the past, I've had mixed feelings, because I guess I just young, stupid, don't understand, but I can't say I'm young and stupid, because this was like maybe several years ago. I remember for Memorial Day weekend, I had put a post on my Facebook and said, you know, like, to, you know, honoring the military and everybody. But then I went back and said, look, I'm honoring the parents, because you guys are the ones that have to deal with this. You're the ones that have to say goodbye to your son, your daughter, and not knowing what the outcome is going to be. They could come back like mental. They could come back missing limbs. They could come back vegetable state, or they could not come back at all. There's so many things, you know, and as a parent, I can't imagine that. My son's going to the National Guard. That's not as heavy as like the Army, the military, none of that, but not military, but you know what I mean. So he's kind of part-time in lower ranks, but you never know. Something could happen, war could happen, and he's out there, you know. And of course you can just say that I can be driving a car and that could happen. Yeah, that happens too, but my focus right now and what I'm speaking about is the military, so that's where I'm going with that. So yeah, I sit there and congratulated the parents on that. And it's like, you guys, my hats are off to you. I don't know how you managed to do that. Well, I don't know if I was just at this time, well, not at that time, but like a couple of years ago, just listening to negativity, listening to things that made me think otherwise. But I started thinking, I'm like, the military, it's like they sit there and say they fight for your country. Why are they fighting for my country? My country's safe. They're fighting other people. They're fighting for their safety. Like, nothing's happened to America. It's like, military is like, that's just some government that it's just something that I'm wasting my taxpayer money on, and the military needs to go away. And then I had said something like, they fight for our freedom. I don't understand why. Our freedom is free. It's already free. It's been free. And I said, you know, and again, this is like maybe 2-3 years after I already posted that other one. Now I'm posting something stupid like this. I was like, it's like, I didn't say screw a Memorial Weekend or Memorial Day or any of that. I just said, I don't know what you're fighting for. Come home. Stupid. Or some shit like that. And it's like, I had to go back maybe a year after I posted that. And I had to delete it because that's not who I was. And that's not who I am. I think at the time I was listening to conspiracy theories. I was listening to people who are anti-government. I was listening to people anti-military. And so that shit feeds in your head. And it's like, yeah, that's stupid. Why are we doing that? And so it totally switched my opinion on how it was just like a couple years prior to that, posting how I appreciate you guys and you know, and then all of a sudden to that. And then later on I was like, what the hell? Why am I listening to this bullshit? It's like, no, that's not right. So yeah, I deleted the post. I'm done with it. And I was like, I'm surprised no one came at me. No one commented on anything. And I'm sure they probably went, what? Somebody hacked your account. What the fuck was that about? Because that's not you. And I would have thought that, you know. But God, I did post that and I regret it. And I was like, that was one of the stupidest things I ever done out of, you know, total disrespect. So yeah, I don't feel that way at all anymore. That was just like a snippet of my life that, I don't know, all this bullshit that was clouding my head with, and it's like not true. But anyway, so yes, I totally appreciate you guys, the military, you know, you guys, you know, regardless of what you feel you're fighting for or what anybody else says that you're fighting for, you know, the conspiracy theories, because this Bin Laden guy, there's conspiracies out there saying he's still alive and nothing happened, you know. And so what are you going to listen to? I know I'm going to have to listen. I'm going to have to listen and believe what I heard today. And I feel like it is what's said, you know. I don't feel like anyone's pulling the wool over my eyes. I don't. And you know what? If something it comes out and they find out, yeah, a wool's been pulled over your eyes, I don't care. I still stand by what I felt, what I heard, and it, you know, so whatever. Until that day happens, I'm not going to feel like a fool. I'm going to feel still proud and be like, okay, I was lied to, but you can't tell me like all this other shit didn't happen, you know? So yeah, it is what it is. And I salute you, military, anybody in the military. I had a lot of family members that were in the military, and some, you know, parents that fought in Vietnam. So there you go. It's like family. It's like I don't know. I just get like, there's so many words I can't even say because they can't express how I feel. You know, there's so much gratitude and just like, it's like I can almost see, not almost see, like I have seen people that have been in war and done things like this, but to know, like, I would never, ever, ever want to see through their eyes. Ever. Like, it takes someone really, really strong to go through that. And sometimes those, you know, like, it took me a while to understand when 4th of July, and you would see pictures, sorry, I'm getting texts. You seeing pictures of signs in the front yard saying, veteran lives here, please be cautious of fireworks. And I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. It's like, it's 4th of July. We're celebrating our freedom, our independence, what you did. Why do you want to sit there and be quiet with fireworks? Then I realized, PTSD. Ah, I got it. I got it. So, yeah. So it's just crazy how it takes me a while to let it, flip over, but I got it. And anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking about this. But anyway, I really, really suggest you guys go see this man or talk to a veteran out there. High five a veteran, salute a veteran, whatever you can, because, they are out there risking their lives, whether you feel they're fighting for your freedom or just fighting to fight because they're told to. They're out there. They're doing it. And they feel they're doing it for a good cause, and I feel they're doing it for a good cause. So I salute you. I thank you. And God be with you all. All right.